somehow came up with myself, like maybe influenced by things I've seen or read. But for me, like I even experimented with plants. Like I've had two plants, same exact conditions, same watering cycle, same seed, same everything. Well, the seed is the that is like a differentiator there. But yeah, like I've done like mental visualizations, like with my eyes open, like on the plant, and like just and the water before even giving it the water. And I had like one plant grow. It barely grew like past like the second set of leaves, and the other one's like 3 feet tall and like a tiny cup. One of those like disposable red cups. And you can like definitely mess with things when it comes to this. So then like, what does that effect have on everything unconsciously, right? If you're not directing it.
I'm really glad you mentioned that. Like, first of all, so I have three things to say. First of
Yeah.
all, the most powerful techniques I've ever used are ones that I got directly from the spirit, um, or spirits, and I think most magicians find that to be the case. Often, if you get a technique from someone else or from a system, I mean, try it and see how it works, right? Going back 1,800 years, we have magicians putting a T next to spells to say whether it was tested or not. So that's something that's been going on for a very long time, which is a side note, but really, really cute and fascinating, I think. Um, so you're talking about looking at the plant and connecting with the plant, right? We have that. Um, we have that demonstrated in a Golden Dawn meditation, where you're projecting yourself into like the stone or a tree and experiencing what it's like to be part of that tree, right? Something also I was doing early on, when I was practicing initiation into hermetics by Franz Barton, which is a horribly mistitled book. It shouldn't be called that, because it's like the way of the true adept is what the title should be, but they translated it into English as initiation into hermetics. But it has that exercise as well, and a lot of the same similar exercises you find in the Golden Dawn. Though I'm not sure if there's a direct connection between the two. It might have just been parallel developments. I'm not sure. And Steiner talks about similar things, right? He would so a Golden Dawn magician would tell you to look on the plant and project your consciousness into it and experience it that way. Steiner has another series of exercises. So Rudolph Steiner, who founded the Waldorf schools and the anthroposophical movement, and he was a student or a friend of Blavatsky's for a little while. And he talks about spiritual development and becoming aware of forms and forces in increasingly higher planes, like in terms of higher worlds. So you would observe your plant and
Sure.
experience what you look for as a spiritual essence of that plant. What does that plant signify? And you would go through the entire process, the ecological process that gives birth to it, right? You would conceive of that, you would visualize that, you would imagine that,
Like
you'd let that
germination,
play.
everything.
Yeah, yeah, everything. The more
Every
you
little
know.
aspect.
And here's a key thing with Steiner: therefore, the more you know about its ecology, more you know about its physical science, the more you can then deeper you can get into its spiritual reality, which really fuels Steiner's philosophy